A woman who is facing losing her home because of a loan taken by her former husband says she was never told the true nature of the lending. Linda, whom Stuff has agreed not to identify because of her allegations about the abusive nature of her former marriage, said the problem began in 2015 when her then-husband took out finance to buy a business that was in financial trouble. She said she was not involved with the application and thought he would not get the loan because the business was insolvent. But it was approved. The information he gave me at the time was that ANZ would lend him the money on the provision that we transferred our mortgage to them, and I was instructed that I had to go to the office of a solicitor I had never met or communicated with to sign the new mortgage documents. I was not advised by the solicitor that I was also signing a personal guarantee for a business loan that had been taken out against my house, lending that had been acquired without my knowledge or consent. She said it was not until her marriage ended in 2019 that she discovered what she had signed. Her husband made her redundant from the business, she said, and blocked her access to business banking and email accounts. ANZ would approve her to take over the mortgage on the home but required the business loan to be paid off in full first. The business loan is secured against the house and ANZ won't leave it unsecured, so unless I take it on as part of the mortgage, which I can't do, it has to be paid off for me in order for me to take over the home loan. She complained to ANZ in November 2020, saying that the guarantee should not be enforceable because of her lack of involvement in the application process and the coercive control and abuse in my marriage. It is insane that lending I never sought out is now about to lose me my home. I wasn't involved in the process, the lending was incomplete, information on the application was inconsistent with other information they had, and there was no personal mobile number provided for me. I believe there were enough red flags for them to have either extended their scope of inquiries before they approved the lending and/or insisted that I was independently advised. She also complained about the solicitor to the New Zealand Law Society. This complaint is still in progress. I have until November 30th to refinance the lending for my home and my ex-husband's business under my sole name, otherwise I will have to sell my home. She said she had been told by ANZ that she had insufficient income to do this because she is currently studying. If I am forced to sell my home and repay my ex-husband's business debt, my children and I will be left in very precarious financial situation. ANZ said it had sympathy for the situation. We understand it is a complicated and difficult situation. The bank said Linda had legal advice before giving the guarantee. She may wish to talk to the solicitor if she is concerned about the quality of that advice. The bank said it was willing to work with her to find a solution. Linda complained to the banking ombudsman, which said it could not rule that the guarantee should be set aside and the bank had discharged its obligations to Linda. But it said her complaint highlighted how bank processes could be improved. It would have been best practice for the bank to have required that you sign a separate waiver of independent legal advice, which ensures that the recommendation of independent legal advice is clearly drawn to the potential guarantor's attention, the scheme said in its letter to her. It said best practice also would be to have direct contact with both parties before sending documentation to a lawyer. We will be sharing insights from your case with not just ANZ but all banks, with a recommendation that they review their processes to ensure customers in situations similar to yours are effectively communicated with and potential vulnerabilities are considered. This review should consider processes to ensure the potential guarantor is provided with relevant information about the proposed lending and guarantee, the potential guarantor is provided with adequate time to consider the information and whether to obtain independent legal advice, and that instructions to the nominated solicitor highlight that the solicitor should consider providing any advice and recommendation about getting independent legal advice to the potential guarantor without the presence of any other party to the transaction to prevent any undue influence.